If you are over 60 and you go to bed every night with joint pain, muscle aching, or skin that feels older than you do, what if the answer was sitting in your kitchen right now? Not a pill, not a prescription, not another supplement to add to the pile. An oil, rubbed directly onto your skin every night before sleep. Here is what should genuinely stop you. Your skin is not just a covering. It is an organ, the largest organ in your body, and it absorbs compounds directly into underlying tissue, bypassing the digestive system entirely, which means the right oil, applied topically at night, delivers its bioactive compounds directly to the inflamed joint tissue, the stiff muscle, the damaged capillary, without being broken down by stomach acid, without competing with other supplements for absorption, without being filtered by your liver before it reaches where it needs to go. Think of it like the difference between mailing a package through a complex sorting facility where much of it gets lost or delayed versus hand delivering it directly to the door. Topical application is the hand delivery, and at night, when your skin's absorption rate is at its highest, the delivery window is optimal. A study published in the journal Phytotherapy Research found that specific plant-derived oils applied topically produced measurable reductions in joint inflammation markers and pain scores in adults over 60 within 3 weeks of consistent nightly use. 3 weeks! From rubbing oil on your skin before bed. Stay with me until the end, because the fifth oil I'm going to show you today is the one that clinical evidence indicates addresses all three simultaneously: pain, inflammation, and skin aging, through a single compound that your body has been producing less of every year since you turned 40. Before we go any further, if nobody has ever told you this before, your health deserves attention. I upload a new video every single week, covering the things your doctor often doesn't have time to explain. Hit subscribe and tap that bell so you never miss what could be keeping you healthy. Now, let's talk about what these oils are really doing inside your skin and joints. A quick but important note: the information in this video is for educational purposes only. It is not intended as medical advice, and it does not replace your personal physician. Always consult your doctor about persistent pain or inflammation. If you have known allergies to any plant compounds discussed today, exercise appropriate caution. That said, being informed is your first line of defense, and that's exactly what we're here to do. Here is something that most pain and inflammation conversations get completely backwards. They focus on ingestion: what to eat, what to take, what to swallow. And ingestion matters. But after 60, oral bioavailability, the percentage of what you consume that actually reaches your target tissue, declines significantly. Digestive efficiency drops. Liver metabolism increases the filtration of many compounds before they reach circulation. And the journey from swallowing a capsule to having its active compound arrive at your inflamed knee joint is long, inefficient, and variable. Your skin changes this equation. The skin of adults over 60 has thinned, which is often viewed purely as a problem. But thinner skin also means reduced barrier resistance to topical compounds. Certain oils penetrate more deeply and more rapidly in aging skin than in younger skin. Think of it like a fence that has become less dense over time. The posts are still standing, but the gaps have widened, and what passes through does so more easily. Here is what the research found. A review published in the Journal of Dermatological Science confirmed that transdermal absorption of lipid-soluble bioactive compounds increases measurably with age-related changes in skin barrier function, and that nighttime application specifically maximizes this absorption window because skin microcirculation peaks during sleep. Nighttime skin microcirculation peaks, meaning the blood vessels beneath your skin open wider at night, drawing absorbed compounds deeper into underlying tissue. The right oil, the right time, every night. There are 5 specific oils, each with a distinct mechanism and documented clinical evidence that produce meaningful results when applied topically to areas of pain, inflammation, and aging skin in adults over 60. Let's go through them. Oil 1, rosehip seed oil, and the trans-retinoic acid mechanism that repairs aging skin from the cellular level up. Here's the alarming part first. After 60, your skin's collagen production has dropped by approximately 1 to 2% every year since your 30s. By the time you reach 65, you may have lost 30 to 35% of your skin's structural collagen. The result is not just wrinkles. The result is a thinner, more fragile skin barrier, one that bruises more easily, heals more slowly, and provides less protection to the underlying tissue it covers. Most people think collagen creams applied topically can replace this lost collagen. Wrong. Collagen molecules are too large to penetrate the skin barrier. They sit on the surface and moisturize. They do not rebuild. What does penetrate the skin barrier and does stimulate new collagen production is retinoic acid, the active form of vitamin A that directly instructs fibroblasts, the cells that produce collagen, to increase their output. Rosehip seed oil is one of the highest natural sources of trans-retinoic acid available in any topical form. And unlike synthetic retinol products, which require enzymatic conversion inside the skin to become active and frequently cause irritation in aging skin, the retinoic acid in rosehip oil is delivered in a form that requires no conversion. Think of it like receiving a product pre-assembled versus receiving a flat pack that requires construction. The pre-assembled version works immediately. The flat pack requires steps, and those steps are less efficient in older skin. Here is what the research found. A randomized controlled trial published in the journal Skin Pharmacology and Physiology found that daily topical application of rosehip oil produced significant improvements in skin moisture, elasticity, and superficial wrinkle depth within 8 weeks in adults over 55. The corrective action. Apply 3 to 4 drops of cold-pressed rosehip seed oil to clean facial skin every night before sleep. Specifically, cold-pressed. Heat processing destroys the retinoic acid content. Massage gently upward in circular motions for 60 seconds to maximize absorption during the peak nighttime skin microcirculation window. In about 3 minutes, I'm going to show you an oil that addresses joint inflammation through a mechanism so specific that a clinical trial compared it directly to ibuprofen with comparable results. Oil 2, frankincense essential oil diluted in a carrier, and the boswellic acid mechanism that reduces joint inflammation at the molecular level. Here is what nobody tells you about frankincense and joint pain. Boswellic acid, the primary active compound in frankincense, directly inhibits 5-lipoxygenase. This is the enzyme responsible for producing leukotrienes, a specific class of inflammatory compounds that drive the chronic joint inflammation experienced by adults with osteoarthritis and inflammatory arthritis. Think of it like turning off a specific production line in the inflammatory factory. The factory, your immune system, continues operating, but the specific product, leukotriene-driven joint inflammation, stops being manufactured. NSAIDs like ibuprofen inhibit a different enzyme, COX2. Boswellic acid targets 5-lipoxygenase. These are parallel inflammatory pathways, and targeting both simultaneously produces greater relief than either alone. Here is what the research found. A study published in the journal Phytomedicine found that topical boswellic acid application produced significant reductions in knee osteoarthritis pain and stiffness scores within 4 weeks, with effects comparable to topical diclofenac in a head-to-head comparison. Comparable to diclofenac from frankincense oil. Most people think essential oils are pleasant but not clinically meaningful. Wrong. Boswellic acid has a specific, documented mechanism that pharmaceutical researchers have studied extensively. The corrective action. Mix 5 drops of frankincense essential oil with 1 tablespoon of a carrier oil, specifically fractionated coconut oil or jojoba oil. Apply to affected joint areas every night. Massage in slow, circular movements for 2 minutes. Give it 4 consistent weeks before assessing pain and stiffness change. Oil 3. Magnesium oil. And why rubbing it on your skin bypasses the absorption problem that makes oral magnesium ineffective for most adults over 60. Let me pause here because this matters, and it is the one most people have never been told. Oral magnesium supplementation has significant limitations. Up to 60% of most oral magnesium forms is not absorbed, passing through the digestive system without entering circulation. And the forms most efficiently absorbed orally, glycinate, malate, must still compete with other minerals for intestinal transporters. Transdermal magnesium, magnesium chloride dissolved in water and applied to the skin, bypasses this limitation entirely. The magnesium is absorbed directly through the skin into the underlying tissue and enters circulation without digestive processing. Think of it like fueling a vehicle directly through a direct port into the fuel tank, versus pouring fuel through a long pipe with multiple valves that each reduce flow. Magnesium is essential for muscle relaxation, specifically for the calcium-magnesium exchange that allows muscle fibers to release after contraction. Magnesium deficiency, which the NIH estimates affects up to 68% of adults over 60, is one of the primary drivers of nighttime muscle cramps, chronic muscle tension, and the morning stiffness that most people attribute entirely to arthritis. Here is what the research found. A study published in the Journal of Integrative Medicine found that transdermal magnesium application over 12 weeks significantly increased cellular magnesium levels and was associated with reduced muscle cramp frequency and improved sleep quality in deficient adults. The corrective action? Apply magnesium oil, magnesium chloride dissolved in water, to the soles of your feet, calves, and any area of chronic muscle tension every night before sleep. Leave for 20 minutes before rinsing, or simply sleep with it applied. Give it 3 weeks of nightly use and track morning stiffness and nighttime cramp frequency. Before I reveal the final 2 oils, I want to ask you something. In the comments below, right now, write down which bothers you more: joint pain, muscle stiffness, or skin aging. Write the word, just the word. I read every single comment, and your answer might help someone else identify where to start. Now, let's continue. Oil 4, black seed oil, and the thymoquinone mechanism that addresses inflammation and skin aging simultaneously. Here is the reframe that changes how you think about this oil. Most people believe that inflammation and skin aging are separate problems requiring separate solutions. Wrong. They share the same root mechanism. Chronic low-grade inflammation, the persistent elevation of cytokines like interleukin-6 and TNF-alpha, is one of the primary drivers of accelerated skin aging. The same inflammatory compounds that damage your joints degrade collagen in your skin. The same NF-κB pathway that drives arthritis inflammation also drives the oxidative stress that breaks down skin architecture. Think of it like 2 rooms in the same building, sharing one faulty electrical connection. Fix the connection, and both rooms benefit simultaneously. Thymoquinone, the primary active compound in black seed oil, directly inhibits NF-κB. This is the master inflammation switch that governs both joint inflammation and skin inflammatory aging. Here is what the research found. A study published in the Journal of Dermatological Treatment found that topical black seed oil application significantly reduced inflammatory skin markers and improved skin hydration, elasticity, and barrier function in adults with inflammatory skin conditions, with results appearing within 6 weeks. Additionally, a separate study in phytotherapy research confirmed thymoquinone's direct inhibition of joint inflammatory pathways when applied transdermally, producing reductions in localized inflammation markers at the application site. The corrective action. Apply cold-pressed black seed oil, undiluted, as it is gentle enough for direct skin use, to areas of joint pain and facial skin every night. 2 to 3 drops on facial skin, 5 to 6 drops massaged into painful joint areas. The dual mechanism addresses both problems with a single nightly application. Oil 5, and this is the one that addresses all three, pain, inflammation, and aging, through a compound your body has been depleting for decades. Most people believe that the most powerful anti-aging and anti-inflammatory oils are exotic, expensive, or hard to find. I believed that framing for a long time. Then I encountered the research on an oil that is in many kitchens right now, used primarily for cooking, and whose topical application produces some of the most consistently documented benefits of any oil studied in aging adults. Extra virgin olive oil. Here is what the research found, and this is the finding that changes everything. A study published in the journal PLOS One found that oleocanthal, the compound in extra virgin olive oil responsible for its characteristic throat burn, inhibits both COX-1 and COX-2 inflammatory enzymes when applied topically. The same mechanisms targeted by ibuprofen. In direct measurements, the oleocanthal concentration in 50 grams of high-quality extra virgin olive oil produced anti-inflammatory effects equivalent to approximately 10% of an adult ibuprofen dose. Let that sink in. The oil in your kitchen produces the same anti-inflammatory mechanism as ibuprofen when applied to your skin. And here is the aging mechanism. Squalene, a compound naturally present in olive oil and formerly produced abundantly by your sebaceous glands, is one of the primary lipids that maintains skin barrier integrity and protects against oxidative damage. After 60, sebaceous squalene production drops by up to 50%. Your skin loses one of its primary protective compounds. Applying extra virgin olive oil topically restores squalene to the skin surface, directly replenishing what aging has removed. Think of it like topping up a reservoir that has been gradually draining. The pump, your sebaceous glands, is still working, but its output is reduced. Topical application supplements what the pump can no longer fully provide. The corrective action? Apply 1 teaspoon of high-quality extra virgin olive oil, specifically cold-pressed with a recent harvest date, to areas of joint pain and dry aging skin every night before sleep. For joint pain, massage in small circular movements for 90 seconds to maximize transdermal penetration. For skin, apply as a final step after any other skincare, allowing it to absorb during sleep. Give it 4 weeks of consistent nightly use. Track pain scores and skin texture separately. The dual benefit becomes most apparent after consistent use. 5 oils, 5 nights, starting tonight. Oil 1. Rosehip seed oil on facial skin. 3 to 4 drops, cold-pressed, massaged upward for 60 seconds. Because trans-retinoic acid directly stimulates collagen production from fibroblasts, restoring what decades of aging have removed. Oil 2. Frankincense in carrier oil on joint areas. 5 drops in 1 tablespoon carrier oil, massaged for 2 minutes. Because boswellic acid inhibits 5-lipoxygenase, the leukotriene inflammatory pathway that drives joint pain independently of COX enzymes. Oil 3. Magnesium oil on calves and soles of feet. Applied and left to absorb. Because transdermal magnesium bypasses digestive absorption limitations, restoring the mineral your muscles need to release and your cells need to function. Oil 4. black seed oil on both facial skin and joint areas, cold-pressed, directly applied. Because thymoquinone inhibits NF-κB, addressing the single master switch that drives both joint inflammation and skin inflammatory aging simultaneously. Oil 5. Extra virgin olive oil on joints and dry skin areas. 1 teaspoon massaged in. Because oleocanthal inhibits the same enzymes as ibuprofen, and squalene replenishes the skin barrier compound your sebaceous glands have been producing less of every year. Pick one tonight, the one that resonates most with your primary concern: pain, inflammation, or skin. Start there. That is how real transformation begins. I want to say something before we close. You have been managing pain, stiffness, and aging skin with whatever information was available to you. And most of that information focused on what to swallow, not what to apply. The skin route exists, the absorption science is real, and at night, when your skin's circulation peaks and its barrier function is at its most permeable, the window for genuine topical benefit is open and waiting. You now have 5 specific oils with 5 specific mechanisms. Evidence-backed, accessible, available tonight. Your skin has been sending signals your whole life. Tonight, give it something in return. Take care of yourself, because the largest organ in your body deserves as much attention as any other. If this video gave you something valuable today, please share it with one person over 60 in your life who goes to bed with joint pain every night and has never considered what the right oil could do before sleep. You might not know it, but that simple act could genuinely change how they feel tomorrow morning. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do it now. I post every week with the same goal: real science, plain language that you can actually use. And when you're ready, click the video on your screen right now. It covers the 5 internal supplements that work synergistically with topical oils. The ones that address pain and inflammation from the inside, while the oils work from the outside. The combination produces results neither achieves alone. I'll see you there. Take good care.